Hello, and welcome to my Bio 101 online course Redesign. And so we are switching from Blackboard over to Canvas, and so what I have done is in that process I've used that opportunity to start redesigning my courses, and then having this assignment also helped me do that too. So I'm kind of knocking out a bunch of birds with one stone. But what I've done is the first section I've kind of revised here, and so I'm going to walk you through the introductory part and then my first major module. So here's the home page. So you can see all ADA compliant, very well done, very organized, a lot of not too busy, all that kind of good stuff. Excuse me. It does have an recent announcements section, so all the most recent announcements are up here. And I just have one for right now, the introductory one that says make sure to visit the beginner module and look and make yourself familiar with the course, that type of thing. And so they can go to announcements, syllabus, modules, and grades down here, or they also have them up on the side. These are the ones I tend to use. So I'll go to the modules. So the course is set up into modules. So the Begin Here module has all of the beginner stuff, has basically the introduction in the class. So we have a welcome to your Canvas course introduction here. And so this is basically how to use Canvas as an LMS. This is the guide for students to help them answer basic questions and figure out where everything is. They also have a specific set for commonly used things that students need, like how to submit things online, how to upload Google Docs, how to use the calendar, how to do posted discussions and grades and take quizzes, all those types of things. And it goes into the readiness and the etiquette, and being appropriate, the technology skills that are going to be required for using the LMS in the online class, the Canvas requirements itself, and communication requirements with GCC and students and within the Gmail access. So all of that is covered here within this first part, and that's one of the major sections that are within your OSCAR rubric. The next part of that is the faculty information. So it's got just basically background information about me, where am I located, what are my office hours, my email address, title, all that good stuff, how my email policy is, what my turnaround for grading is, and then some of my background information, so that you can get in touch with me. Within the module then goes into the syllabus. The syllabus has two main components, Part A and Part B. Part B is the one that covers all the major school policies, so the whole email policy for the entire college, the response time that's accepted and expected, the academic honesty policy for the college, the schedule for the college, as far as last day to drop and holidays and things along those lines, the attendance standards, the Title IX, disability and emergency procedures, library services, academic center for excellence, which is our tutoring service, testing center, distance learning, all of those types of things. So all of that's covered within our Part B of our syllabus. Alright, Part A, so we're going to our syllabus. Part A of our syllabus is the course material. So this is the one specific to this course, and so it's downloadable up here. You can go and take a look at it, and for a student, download it right here. And so it has all, again, the information from me. It has the course description, has all the outcomes and expectations, the learning outcomes, no textbooks for this course, everything is provided, how to communicate with the professor, withdrawal policies, attendance policies, my personal academic dishonesty policy, course plan for college closings, since it's online, I don't have to worry about that much, my grading policy, how everything falls into the categories, the grading scale, what I'll drop, what I don't drop, and then the schedule, so day by day or week by week, and what they're going to be doing, what folders they're going to be working on. Basically, it won't be folders now. I got to actually redo this, and it'll be called modules. So I'll complete the scientific method module is the one that we're going to be working on. So the start here in the scientific method module is my first week of class, and so that's what I've done as my a redo. Right, and then I also have the Part B of the syllabus within this section too. So they have a printable version of Part B. Also in here is the course summary. So on this page, which is really nice, has this course summary part that has all the upcoming things that are due. So it'll have the due dates of all the assignments coming up and kind of put them in order as to when they're due. And then it also directly links into this calendar. So the calendar allows these tells the student what day it is, and then has all the list of what's coming up next, kind of an idea. And then we have the weighting of the grades and how the course is kind of set up so that they can see what's most important as far as or what provides most points towards the class. Okay. I have put in a syllabus scavenger hunt, and that kind of goes through and requires the students to look at the syllabus and answer some of the basic questions of some of the most important aspects of what do you do for testing? What do things along those lines. So all the kind of important stuff. It just makes them go find the information. It helps them become more familiar with the course, so it's a little incentive to get them looking into everything, a little activity for them to do. I have an introductory discussion board that goes along, right? And so in that, it asks them for their names, some information about themselves, what are they doing after since I'm at Work Community College, where they could be pursuing next. What are their hobbies, interests, career goals, all those types of things, and put in a picture so they can see each other, right? And so everybody's supposed to do this. Everybody has to respond to at least 2 other posts, and then I do one. I'm the first one. I have mine sitting in here when they all come in, so they can kind of get an idea of the expectations for this particular discussion board. And then I also respond to every single one of their posts. So I'll respond and mention something to them. And within mine, I talk about my life. I talk about the DET program quite a bit, and my teaching experience and things along those lines. Let's see. Then we have the privacy and accessibility policies, student support, online assistance, the help button. This all links into the help button that tells them how to 24/7 help, or how to contact me for help, and all kinds of different things. So all of this really goes into that whole part of the OSCAR rubric, all about preparing the students, providing them with lots of information, answering any questions that they have, and setting them up so that they feel comfortable and prepared for the class. So that's why this is kind of part of the whole first week. Is the first week assignment is really kind of easy, and then this is kind of set up as an important area. And actually, it's like the first week and a half. So they have a little half of a week basically to complete this, and then and also combine that in with our the actual module that I have here. So this is a module that I've redone and incorporated with this section. So this is my redesigned module, but that's kind of part of it too, because I added in the syllabus scavenger hunt, and it includes all the information that you were looking for the OSCAR rubric. And so for my scientific method module, I've included a module overview, so that we'll look at. That basically talks about the entire module and what it does. So this module presents the basics of the scientific method. The material in this module will be reinforced throughout the course and each subsequent module also. First, download the scientific method PowerPoint. So I'm trying to give them an idea of what they should be doing, how they should be doing their work. So in order to get the notes and get the information, they should download the PowerPoint and then listen to the podcast and take notes. Then we'll complete the intro assignment, the scientific method virtual lab, and the scientific method practice worksheet. So I'm telling them exactly what they're going to be doing within the module, and then each of those will need to be uploaded at the assignment link. All right, I've also provided a short review called the scientific method flashcards, which I'll talk about in there. And basically it's to demonstrate one study method that can be helpful in a biology course. I think for each of the modules that I'm going to do before the first exam, I think each of the 4 modules I'm going to have a different type of study method. And so here I have some flashcards. The next time I'll pick out something else, and so I'm coming up with trying to give them examples of how to incorporate these different types of study methods, because a lot of these students in this beginning intro class, so a lot of them haven't ever really had to study or had a hard enough class where they needed to study, and so they have very poor study skills when they come in. And so I'm going to try and give them different techniques and different suggestions on how to do that. So I had a link here to Quizlet for them to make their own note cards and flashcards for the remaining modules. And then there's also additional resources available in the Scientific Method Extra Help page if needed. So and also contact me if they would like. And from the feedback that you gave me, I included a scientific method module checklist, and so so the students know exactly what they need to do within each of the modules. And so to provide the content, they have the PowerPoint and the podcast. Check that off. For assignments, they need to do the intro assignment and the scientific method practice worksheet, and check those off. The labs, it's going to be the scientific method virtual lab. And then for extra help, I put that these are optional so that they know they don't have to do these if they don't want to. I have the scientific method flashcards that I made as an example. I have, excuse me, after chapter 1 from the textbook, The Process of Science is from the open online textbook. Khan Academy made a nice little video, so I have the scientific method video from Khan Academy. And then How Things Work has a really great article on how the scientific method works. So all of those are optional things to try and help give them different views and different aspects of the content, so different ways of doing it. So again, the focus of this class really a lot was on differentiated instruction, and so I really try to provide a lot of different ways for students to gain the content. And the first part is, and then after that is the PowerPoint. So I'm going to go back to the overall module because I don't want to bore you with all the details, but we have the PowerPoint there. and so the scientific method notes, PowerPoint, the scientific method podcast, which is done on YouTube, goes to the entire notes. It has the transcript along with it, and I basically do kind of what I do in classes. I go through the notes and I'll give examples and I'll talk about it and I'll give them all the information that they need. So it's everything that they will be quizzed on and tested on within the class comes from these scientific method podcasts, or come from these different podcasts. First assignment is the intro assignment. It's a differentiated assignment that allows them that they're going to create a scientific project. Basically, they're going to give me the introduction, set up a design, what they want to study, look at, and basically create a scientific project as if they had unlimited resources. And I encourage them to pick something that is, no, let me go back. And tell them to pick something that's in their everyday life. And so one of the examples that I give is that I did gasoline. So you have your different octanes of gasoline, and I was looking at them, and I know that they can affect gas mileage some, but you have a big difference in price. And so I was wondering if maybe you buy them more expensive when you pay more, but you actually get such good gas mileage that it actually ends up saving you in gas mileage versus money. And so that was just a project. So how would I test that out? I would try buy different amounts of gas and see how far it went and all kinds of different things. So I explained out the whole project. I did that entire thing, and but I didn't actually run it. I didn't actually do the data, and that's what I want them to do. I want them to tell me the procedure, the methods, all that type of thing is all explained in here. But they give me this hypothetical experiment that they have that might impact them somehow in their life. And it's worked really well in the past. I have a I have a worksheet that goes along with this Cornbore virtual lab. So it's a scientific method lab where they test out a bunch of different scenarios, and it works really well. And it's an interactive, so you can take a look at it. It's an interactive done through McGraw-Hill, and so they get to you get to have these different insects, you get to have infestations and put them in different things and see how they turn out and all kinds of good stuff. And so it gives you a nice little description of the procedure and all the steps, and then they have the journal questions and the table that they have to fill in as what they turn in for this part. So it's nice little interactive to kind of show them all the different possibilities and that kind of thing. Anyway, so and so that's that activity. Sorry. And then the scientific method worksheet tells them how to do that. I also have I have a little video that goes along to help explain how to do it. I do the first one for them and kind of do an example, and then I have them complete all the other ones because it's an interesting worksheet that really challenges them a little bit and makes them apply everything that we talked about in the notes. So I really like this activity, and I think that the worksheet I think that the video really helps them understand the expectations that I have and to make sure that they do it well. And so then practice, and then the flashcards. So I made the flashcards from the H5P activity. There it goes. All right, so I have the different flashcards. So what is a constant? What is a control? What is an independent variable? What is a dependent variable? And then you write in your answer, and you can check, and it pops over for all the different possibilities. And so I got an example. What is the independent variable in this example? What is the dependent variable? What do you measure? All those different types of things. So there's just a set of flashcards to kind of give an idea how to set up flashcards, what kind of things you would want to do, and encourage them to use Quizlet or something along those lines to make it up. And then we have our scientific method extra help. Right? And then within your extra help, like we talked about, I have the textbook, the online textbook, the Khan Academy video, and the How Stuff Works. Right? And so that is my course. So I have a really great in-depth introductory section talking about all the details, all the skills, all the technical equipment, all the help, and that they can receive everything that they need on how the course is going to be run. All of that is set in this section. So with the syllabus and with all these different activities, setting up a good class morale and class community with our introduction board, introductory discussion boards, and then incorporating that in discussions and projects that I have later on in the semester, all that kind of stuff. And so I like the way that this is beginning. I'm liking the activities. I want to incorporate a little bit more adaptive learning in the future. I'm working on getting some adaptive learning programs within these sections to be placed inside of here. in some of the activities, and doing a little bit more group activities. I think I'm going to use Zoom and have them do at least one or two discussions of some of the more recent scientific articles, typically from that have been kind of generalized in the larger newspapers like the New York Times or something, but they do a write-up on a scientific article, and then I'll have them read that write-up rather than the scientific article just yet, and we'll progress with that, talk about the article in the New York Times, and then later on we'll start with the article and then look at the actual scientific paper, and then at the end I'd like to just have them review a scientific paper and tell me what they think and what they were able to glean from it. So it's kind of like scaffolding it, showing them how, giving them a little bit more difficulty and showing them the expectations as we go along. So that's one of the things I'm adding in. So thank you very much.